Hey everyone, today's it is about when he's an underground villain and you're a barista, but he tells you that he's a hero. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Let's get going. The bell above the cafe door chimed, announcing a new arrival. You looked up from carefully arranging a plate of cookies to see a young man with fiery hair and piercing eyes framed by the door. He was tall and lean, his posture tense, almost coiled with energy. "Welcome," he said with a smile. "Can I get you something?" He hesitated for a moment, then met your gaze. "Black coffee," he said, his voice a low rumble. You poured him a steaming mug, noticing the way his hands trembled slightly as he took it. "Is everything alright?" you asked gently. He shrugged, his gaze avoiding yours. "Just a lot of things on my mind," he mumbled. You placed a plate of cookies beside his coffee. "If you ever need someone to talk to, I'm here," you said sincerely. He looked at you, surprised by your offer. A small smile tugged at the corners of his lips. "Thanks," he muttered. Over the next few weeks, Bakugou became a regular at the cafe. He always ordered the same black coffee, and each visit was a new conversation, a new opportunity to peel back another layer of his personality. One afternoon, as he sat nursing his coffee, you couldn't help but notice a dark shadow under his eyes. "Rough night?" he asked with concern. He sighed, his shoulders jumping. "Yeah," he replied, his voice gruff. "Just hero stuff." He reached out and placed a hand on his arm, offering a comforting touch. "I know it's tough, being a hero and all," you said, "but you're strong. You can get through anything." He looked at you. His eyes filled with a mixture of sadness and gratitude, and something else that you couldn't get a grasp of. "Thanks. I really needed to hear that." His words warmed your heart. You knew that he was going through a hard time, but you also saw the good in him, the hidden strength that he kept tightly guarded. A week later, the bell above the cafe door chimed, signaling a new arrival. You looked up from your steaming your latte art to see a familiar face framed by the door. Bakugou. His fiery eyes met yours, and a small, unexpected smile tugged at the corner of his lips. He was a regular at this point, always ordering the same black coffee, his presence as dark as intense as his drink. Over time, you'd struck up a friendship, drawn in by his blunt honesty and unexpected wit. "The usual, Katsuki?" you asked, tilting your head in greeting. "Yeah," he grunted, sliding onto his usual stool at the counter. You couldn't tell but notice the way his eyes lingered on you for a moment longer than usual, making your cheeks flush. As he prepared it, you couldn't tell but ask, "What's got you looking so grumpy today?" Bakugo scoffed. "Just a lot of hero stuff to deal with, again." He took a long sip of his coffee, his eyes narrowing in thought. He had always known Bakugo was ambitious, even a little obsessive when it came to his goals. But behind his gruff exterior, he sensed a deeper complexity, a vulnerability only rarely allowed to show. The days turned into weeks, and your friendship with Bakugo blossomed. You learned about his dreams of becoming a top hero, his fierce determination, and his surprisingly gentle side. He, in turn, began to confide in you, sharing his frustrations and fears. One rainy afternoon, you were closing up the cafe when you heard a commotion outside. Rushing to the door, you saw a group of villains fighting, a team of pro heroes. One of the villains, a hulking figure with a metal arm, knocked you to the ground, sending a jolt of pain through your ankle. Amidst the chaos, you saw Bakugou, his costume ripped, his eyes blazing with fury. He fought with a ferocity that you had never seen before, his explosions lighting up the night sky. But your heart sank as you realized that he was fighting alongside the villains, not against them. Katsuki? You choked out, your voice barely audible, above the din. His eyes met yours for a fleeting moment, a flicker of guilt crossing his face. Then, he turned away, his focus solely on the battle. Tears welled up in your eyes as you watched him, the man you thought you knew, now replaced by a stranger. The world seemed to spin as the pain in your ankle intensified. As the heroes finally subdued the villains, Bakugou disappeared into the night, leaving you with a shattered heart and a mind reeling from the truth. You spent the next few weeks recovering from your injury, the physical pain a constant reminder of the emotional betrayal. You couldn't bring yourself to believe that the kind, vulnerable man that you had fallen for was the same as the villain you saw that night. But a part of you held on to hope, clinging in the belief that there was more to the story, that the true Bakugou was still hidden beneath the mask of villainy. It was months later when you saw him again. You were walking down the street, lost in your own thoughts, when you felt a familiar presence behind you. You turned, your heart skipping a beat as you saw Bakugou standing there. He looked different. Gone was the confident swagger and fiery gaze. In his place stood a haunted man, by his past. His shoulders slumped, and his eyes filled with regret. Bakugou? You whispered, your voice barely a breath. He looked at you, his eyes searching your face for forgiveness. Lion, I need to explain. You hesitated, your mind replaying the events of that fateful night. But you also remembered the man that you knew before, the kind, vulnerable soul beneath the hardened exterior. All right, talk to me. I made a mistake. I was lost, consumed by anger and a desire for power. I let darkness take hold of me, and I betrayed everything I believed in. He paused, his voice cracking with remorse. I hurt you, man, and for that, I'm truly sorry. I know I can never undo what I've done, but I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. You looked at him, your heart filled with a mix of anger and sadness. Forgiveness is a long and difficult journey, you said, your voice filled with honesty. But I believe in you. I believe that you can redeem yourself. He looked at you. Do you really mean that? Yes, but it won't be easy. You have a lot of work to do to earn my trust, and the trust of everyone that you've hurt. I understand. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make things right. It was a slow process, but with each passing day, Bakugou moved closer to the light. He rediscovered that the hero that he was meant to be, and he found his way back to the man that you loved. And while the scars of the past would never truly fade, he knew that your love for each other was strong enough to heal them. He knew that you would face whatever challenges came your way, as long as you had each other. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you liked this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Goodbye!